Hey everybody, welcome to Rock, Paper, Hand Grenades. Those are our guests. You see, there we go. I am Matt Connerton. And to my right is the Honorable Gary S. Hopper. How are you, sir?
All right, young fellow.
Young fellow?
Yes, I'm lying. I'm a politician. I would not believe a thing I said. Hey,
right.
So the coolest thing happened. I was on Norm's show for the last hour, his show.
Yes, you were cheating on me again.
Yes, I know.
Yes.
I know. I feel badly. So somebody called in, and they asked me a question, and I answered the question, and they basically called me a liar, and then said, I will always be on cable TV.
Well, that's nice. That's nice that someone says that you'll always be on cable TV.
I would think. I don't know if it's an insult or if they're saying that I have a long, prosperous career on cable TV.
Yeah. They might have meant it as an insult. The network is not going to come knocking anytime soon, maybe.
That could be it.
Because wasn't NBC interested in... well, I'd like to think they were interested in us, but
yeah,
they're really just interested in you.
No, it's a team. We're a team. We actually do make a good team. Anyway, so... I'm going to screw this up.
Well, with that attitude, you will.
The guys... the guys from Defensive Strategies here is Bob Ballard and Jim Eldridge. No, I screwed it up again. I did?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, it's Bob Boilard. But
Boilard.
That's fine. Call me whatever you want.
I think I'll quit now.
You were thinking of Glenn Ballard.
I thought I had a long career at this, but apparently not.
You're lucky that guy didn't tell you had a face for radio.
Yes.
That's true. Why? Is that what your implication is?
No.
All right.
I didn't say a word.
Hey, so before we get started, I wanted to go over a little bit of what's happened this week because it would be almost ridiculous not to.
Something happened this week?
Something happened this week.
Oh, okay.
I was listening to I forget what it was, the Hannity show on the way in.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Hannity. There was an FBI agent on, and they're just really, really upset that Hillary Clinton just got away with. Okay, you guys teach gun safety,
firearms, yeah, that kind of stuff.
You've got a 20-year-old human, male, female, doesn't matter, 21. They come to you and they say they want to learn about gun safety. You hand them a gun. What do you do from there? Do you teach them, or do you even let them touch the gun before you've talked to them about it?
No, we don't hand them a gun.
Right, that'd be pretty lax.
No, I'm making a point. I'm actually making a point.
Okay.
So you wouldn't even hand them the gun, would you?
Not right away, no.
No, you would go over instructions,
safety rules, and all that good stuff, how it works,
before you even put ammo in that gun.
Right. Sounds like a lot of red tape to me, but that's me.
I mean, he learned over at my house. I just handed him a gun and then ran the other direction.
I remember, yeah. Oh, yeah, which was wise.
It was a good move.
Except you went the wrong way and you went in front of me.
That was the safest place to be.
Well, yeah, probably.
No, we didn't do that. And so the reason I'm saying that is because director, now I'm going to butcher his name, Director Comey,
yep,
claimed that Hillary Clinton was Comey. There is evidence that they, meaning her and her staff, were extremely careless in the handling of classified information. What is the probability that she ever got access to any classified information without going through a training course like you would for somebody that you were... Because this information is a lot more dangerous than some moron with a gun.
Oh, yeah.
A moron with a gun might kill himself or a few people around him, but this classified information endangers hundreds, if not thousands, if not the entire country.
Well, not only that, but he said, too, that it may have, they don't know, but it may have been exposed to hostile actors, which is, that's the part that bothered me the most out of the whole thing. That one part. It's like, wow.
Well, she was actually communicating via email while she was in hostile territory,
right,
too.
Exactly, which just defies common sense, let alone being reckless or careless.
Hey, what's the new guy behind the things, our new director?
Paul? Yes.
Hey, Paul.
What?
What's
up, my friend?
You want to play the video?
By the way, what is your name?
Gary, I think. Paul, you want to play the video?
Sure, right now. Coming right up.
Oh, we have a video.
Right, I got a video. I used your that webpage you told me to upload.
Oh, good.
stuff.
Excellent.
So let's see how that works.
Okay, here it is.
It's magic.
Is evidence that they were extremely careless in their handling of very sensitive, highly classified information.
I thought it would be easier to carry just one device for my work and for my personal emails instead of two.
Secretary Clinton used several different servers and administrators of those servers during her 4 years at the State Department. She also used numerous mobile devices to send and to read email on that personal domain.
We went through a thorough process to identify all of my work-related emails and deliver them to the State Department, and provided all my emails that could possibly be work-related.
The FBI also discovered several thousand work-related emails that were not among the group of 30,000 emails returned by Secretary Clinton.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email.
110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined by the owning agency to contain classified information.
It had numerous safeguards. It was on property guarded by the Secret Service, and there were no security breaches.
We do assess that hostile actors gained access to the private commercial email accounts of people with whom Secretary Clinton was in regular contact from her personal account.
Did you or any of your aides delete any government-related emails from your personal account?
To conduct the thorough investigation was to err on the side of providing anything that could be possibly viewed as work-related.
They deleted all emails they did not produce to state, and the lawyers then cleaned their devices in such a way as to preclude complete forensic recovery.
Do you think it posed a national security problem?
I don't think it posed a national security problem.
She also used her personal email extensively while outside the United States, including sending and receiving work-related emails in the territory of sophisticated adversaries.
Incredible.
Wow. Yeah. No, I thought it was kind of comical that if you look in the background to where she's being interviewed by, because she went to the UN, and she, some commentator says she probably went there because she figured there'd be less conversation or questions about the emails and more about, what dress she was wearing. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so they were pretty brutal. The funny part was the backdrop said Council of Security.
Yeah.
It is kind of ironic.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty ironic. What do you guys take on this whole thing? Because you're in the...
Well, obviously she's a liar.
Yeah.
I mean, and...
Even most of the people who are going to vote for her know that if you look at polls.
Yeah,
they acknowledge that they don't trust her. Yeah, they're going to vote for her anyway, but yeah.
It's just amazing that, the FBI is probably one of the government agencies that still had a little bit of integrity left. Mm-hmm. And it just everything went out the window.
Well, the thing is,
he made that statement.
My understanding, because he says that there's no evidence that she intentionally was careless or reckless, but my understanding is that intentional or not, it's a felony. Exactly. To mishandle classified information is a felony, whether you meant to or oops or
whatever. Ignorance of the law is no defense.
Right.
Well, one of my
never is.
One of my state rep friends, I don't think he's not a state rep now, but his name is Duffy Doherty. Said he's responded to your comment on my Facebook. He says, "Oh, you've been a more good reader than I am."
Oh yes. All right. Duffy Doherty's comment was, as someone who spent. Well, actually, let me just say. So, my comment, because this was in response to what I said. I just said that even if I was responding to what you said about the multiple servers is very suspicious and whatnot, and I said even if she just legitimately was careless, even that in and of itself, even if there was no nefarious intent, disqualifies her from the presidency as far as I'm concerned. And then so Duffy said, as someone who spent 34 years in the AF, Air Force, I assume, and who handled much classified information in my day, there is no, quote, extremely careless when it comes to handling classified information. You handle it correctly all the time, to the letter, or you break the law you swore to uphold. Clinton is a criminal. Hillary knows it, Comey knows it, and the American people know it.
Well, that's that last part, I'm not sure. I don't think most people actually understand that she is truly a criminal.
Well, a lot of people will vote for her regardless, just because, I mean, we know how it works. You know, the Democrats will vote for the Democratic nominee, Republicans will vote for the Republican nominee, and it's really all about the independents like me.
I mean, in the legislature, there's a group of people who want abortion on demand, and that's all they care about.
Yeah.
If there was no other issue, they would still vote for whoever believes in abortion on demand, period.
It's true.
Right.
And that's she's got that locked up. But anyway, that's not why I called you guys here. It's just
Well, you know, he basically said, yeah, she's guilty is sin, but we're going to let her go.
we're gonna let her go.
Yeah. That's exactly what he said.
Now, I've had a friend of mine on this show three or four different times, who is locked up in federal jail right now.
Ah, yes. Jerry
DeLamus,
Yep.
who is in jail because he was defending somebody's constitutional rights. She's out of jail. It's the FBI. I don't know. The FBI tracked him forever. You know.
I was telling these guys before we came on, when you were in here with Norma, I was saying that I wanted her to be indicted just to make this whole election even wilder than it already is.
Just to throw some more.
Just throw some more gasoline on the fire.
Yeah.
Just burn it all down.
Well, actually, this could work out to Trump's favor because, I mean, there's a lot of Bernie Sanders supporters that are really pissed off right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't see them going to Trump, though. I'm very skeptical
You
of
never
that.
know.
Some of them
Skeptical.
are.
You never know.
Some of them will. I don't think many of them, though.
Well, there's a percentage of people that are voting for Trump only because he does not appear to be, or has never seemed to appear to be, part of the system. A lot of people are voting against the system itself, regardless of party.
Depends on what you regard as the system, though. I mean, he certainly
the system.
He's spent a lot of money
People that can
on
do whatever the hell they want and get away with it because they're part of the system.
He hasn't been a career politician.
Right.
And, you know,
That
really,
part's true.
Really, it's
but
the GOP who created Trump. You know, because in 2014, the American people gave them the Senate and the House to stop the man in office. And what have they done with it? But nothing. Okay, all they've done is appease him for the last 2 years. So, rightly so, the American people are very upset, and they're looking for anybody who's not a politician and anybody who's not Hillary.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
that's what it comes down to. So,
well, they were. I would just add too. I think a lot of them were looking for Bernie, but they rigged the system so that Hillary was going to be the nominee no matter what.
yeah, actually, the DNC is going to court about that also.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're being sued by Bernie supporters,
Which is great.
which is great. Yeah, they should be.
Yeah.
But she started out with like 700 or 800 delegates before the first vote was cast.
Oh yeah. He wins the New Hampshire primary, and they came out of here with what I think the even number of delegates.
They were even as far as delegates. Even though
he crushed her.
cleaned her clock.
Yeah.
You know, in that
It's rigged.
instance, Trump is right. The system is rigged.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah,
All
and
around.
this is just more evidence of the system being rigged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that.
Well, that's
decision.
evidence of the system being totally corrupt. But
Well, and you didn't even mention too the other thing, the meeting right before this, which just throws a whole new layer of stench on the whole thing with Clinton and Loretta Lynch. Clinton just happened to be in Phoenix. Nobody really knows why. I think he told somebody it was for a golf event or something. That
Yeah.
no
I
one
heard they
could
were
find
talking
any
about
information on.
grandkids.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So how's your grandkids? They haven't had any accidents lately, have they?
That's one theory. That's what the guy who wrote the book, that I forget his name, who wrote the Secret Service guy who wrote the book.
Right.
He was speculating that it was soft intimidation from Clinton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't either.
And then they announced, 2 days later that, oh well, we might just keep Loretta on as Attorney General
What a
when I'm
coincidence.
president.
Yeah.
What a coincidence.
Yeah. Because she'll do whatever we want.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. Wow, it is.
This is the government our forefathers warned us about.
Yep.
Okay, and if we don't stop it now, it's definitely it's going to get much worse.
It's gonna get a lot worse.
I mean, they're to the point now where they don't even try to hide it. I mean,
Yeah.
that announcement by the FBI, she's guilty of sin, but we're going to let her go because she's Hillary Clinton.
Right.
That's essentially what he said.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
it is.
Wow.
There's no way. Like I was using the analogy of training somebody with a handgun or a rifle, whatever, a firearm. There's no way she didn't get trained. She had to have gotten training on security and her staff before she was allowed to do stuff in the Senate. Probably when she was First Lady, and again when she became Secretary of State. So she's been through it. She knows what the rules are. And the operative thing, too, is when Comey said there is evidence that they were extremely careless. Now, one thing I think people have a hard time wrapping their brain around is the idea, anybody can picture themselves making a mistake. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. But that isn't the situation. It isn't like Hillary was ignorant of the internet or electronics or the communications and made a mistake, because even if she was absolutely ignorant of those, she had these people all around her saying, no, you can't have a separate server.
That's a good point.
Somebody told her she shouldn't do that way before that ever happened.
Oh, yeah.
And she decided to ignore them all along that system. She has a team of experts telling her what isn't legal, what she should or shouldn't do.
I think the term extremely careless equates to gross negligence when it comes to the law.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, also, too, he said something about the State Department in general seems to be very lax. Remember that when Comey made that comment that there's an overall laxness there with, I don't think laxness is a word, I'm trumping. But
I mean, the thing is, going forward, she should not have a top security clearance.
Right.
And as president, she's going to have keys to the nukes.
Yes.
This is not good.
Yeah.
Which brings us to survival.
Yep.
Good.
That is why we came here, right?
That was a great segue.
I really wanted to get you on because what if people
Did Norm wear you out?
Yeah, Norm wore me out.
Norm wore you out.
If you looked at all the grocery stores around Manchester, they have enough food to keep the people around Manchester fed for maybe a week. I'm not even sure if that's true.
It's probably a little bit high.
It's a little bit high.
Probably about 3 days.
You got to figure about that, because in a panic situation, most people are buying double, triple until you cut them off.
Like that scene in The Day After.
It's like 22 ammo.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
so let's say they have 3 days. The elderly would be out of luck because they couldn't possibly fight the elbow room, getting in there and getting lines and trying to grab bread or whatever.
Yeah.
So they'd be pretty much out of luck. You got 3 days of food theoretically. What should people reasonably have available in the event of something happening? Because right now, if there was, let's say, a rebellion, in New England, all they have to do is shut off the food supply. And that would be their first thing. They would just shut off all food going to New England and let everybody up there
and our power.
Start eating their young.
Yeah.
And our power, which is the worst.
Communications, all that.
Yeah.
We're
so dependent on the internet now for communicating.
And our cell phones and everything else.
Yeah.
But again, it's not just about something like that. I mean, you look at ice storms that have shut us down for 10 days.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Oh yeah.
People should be prepared for anything. Okay, and I mean we've lost the skills that our forefathers had. Nobody in Manchester could probably live off the land anymore.
Right.
Okay. And when you have 3 million people living off the land,
Can you eat skunk cabbage? Because there's plenty of that around my house.
Skunk cabbage?
I didn't know that was a thing. Skunk cabbage?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Anyway, so good.
I guess if you're hungry enough.
So, but I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen. Snowstorms, ice storms. There's, it can be something where it's a revolution where Hillary wins and she tries to take our guns, which is not going to fly in the United States.
No, it's not going to go over well.
EMP blast. There's all kinds of things that can happen. Okay, and it's a good idea just to be prepared. I mean, you could
blast. Explain an EMP blast, because a lot of people aren't going to even know what you just said.
Okay, an EMP blast is basically where a foreign nation would detonate a nuclear device, usually about 100 miles above the surface of the United States.
Right.
Right. That blast would basically destroy all electronics. Okay, it would bring the entire grid down. All right, for most of the country. Okay, and it would take years to get it. It would bring the grid down, all the electricity, it would fry all your computers and everything.
Yeah, actually, all the flashlights now are susceptible too.
Yeah.
Because they're all LEDs.
Yeah.
There's a similar risk with solar flares, right? If a big enough solar flare happened to get us,
yeah, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
So, again, it's just a matter of being prepared. Okay, and so we start in a series up. Okay, Jim is going to be our instructor for that series. So basically, we're starting out with the bug out bag, which is, you want to explain what a bug out bag is?
It's got a lot of names: bug out bag, emergency bag, get home bag. It's basically a bag where you have items needed to make it in the situation in which you're worried about.
Right.
So in New England, to me, it's a little bit insane that people wouldn't have some stuff in their vehicle because you could break down. You could have, a quick torrential rainstorm, mass car pile up, flat tire. So it's a bag of items, whether it's food, water, fire-making material, shelter material. The list could go on and on. I mean, right. You could do anything, and it's how to assemble that bag, what to do, what to bring. So, and
do you guys actually sell an intact bug-out bag?
No.
With everything in it?
I mean, you can buy them, and we can put people in the right direction.
Yeah.
If you can buy them fully assembled, sure, it's just money, whatever you want to spend. I mean, you could have something at $50 to get you home, up to thousands of dollars, depending on how much gear you want to have or what you feel or what your issue that you're worried about. It just should be part of your total preparedness plan.
Should have enough supplies for 72 hours.
Minimum.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay.
Because you may have to walk.
Right.
Shoes, socks, clothes.
Right.
Jacket. You're in New England, you need a jacket anyway. It doesn't matter if it's summer or not. It gets cold at night.
Yeah.
So it's all the basic essentials.
Yeah.
Now, do you have like so you're going to teach a course in this? Is that what you're going to do?
We're going to teach a course on what a bug out bag is, get home bag is, a little history on it, a little history on the items, and then we'll actually bring in a couple of assembled ones, a get home bag, a bug out bag, a vehicle kit. We'll go through all the items, how I pack them, how they go in, and we'll go over every single thing, answer questions. People can more than willing to bring their bag. We'll go out, as we go through it at the end, I'm more than willing to go through it with them and, just get as much information to people, because it's not just about the civil duress or the other stuff. It's really about New England too. I mean, where we live.
Yeah.
I mean, you could break down. So I mean, it could go for anybody that's just worried about getting home in a bad situation or waiting for AAA. I mean, if you get hit in the winter, it doesn't matter if you're 70 years old or 12 years old. If you have no gear and nothing, you're going to be in big trouble.
Yeah, especially in New England, the possibility of just going off the road and not being seen for 2 days, if you're like trapped inside the vehicle.
And if you don't have cell phone service, because that's
I don't have a cell phone.
Or if you're like Gary and don't have a cell phone.
Do you teach smoke signals in case I get...
No.
That's a good idea.
We don't do that.
Oh, right?
Yeah, you should add that.
So that'd be the first, the first part of our series of basically urban survival.
Yeah.
And after that class, then we'll develop some future classes of basically how to survive in situations like this.
Okay?
Yeah. Think about the fact that if those grocery stores did become empty, what are people going to do? They're coming to your house. Okay? They're coming to your house for your food.
Right.
All right? Rolling gangs and stuff like that. So, and again, I mean, it could be anything. The collapse.
I think that's a good point.
Of the dollar or anything like that.
If you look at some of the third world countries where law has fundamentally broken down.
Venezuela, look what happened there.
Venezuela,
Good example is Venezuela.
Yeah.
All
It really
of a
is.
sudden, the young and the healthy are all of a sudden form gangs, and now they're starting to take stuff
Yeah.
from the people who can't really defend themselves.
Right.
Goes part of your, whole family preparedness plan.
Right.
72 hours,
And-
short-term your pantry, long-term into what you store and into your home, and making sure your home is secure and your safe room's intact and your gear is stowed. I mean, there's a lot to think about, and I think
There really is.
a lot of people should take it a lot more seriously, because a lot of people will say we're going down a bad road and a
Yeah.
lot of things are happening. But I mean, I would tell you we've been doing that for a long time, and it could be any time. It could be an emergency. So, I mean, I would just tell people, really take it seriously, really think about it. I mean, I'm a husband. I mean, I worry about my wife, and I need to make sure my family is taken care of.
Right. Yeah, it's like you said, that ice storm we had a few years ago. I forget how long it was before we got electricity where, but it was a long time.
Yeah. And what were they stealing? They were stealing generators. They
Oh,
was-
oh,
Were they really? Was
yeah.
that happening?
yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
A friend, my friend from the Seacoast, Lee Quant, he was a state rep for quite a few years.
Yeah.
He was saying he lives out in Exeter,
Yeah.
and the people just wandering around the streets. They don't know what to do, and one of his neighbors said, he says, we don't know what to do. We haven't been able to cook a meal in days, and we got the gas stove, but there's no electricity. And he just looks at him and goes, "You've got a gas stove and you can't cook anything?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a lighter?" Oh, hey, that's a good idea.
Oh my.
Oh, yeah, it's worse than you thought.
Might have been
Oh, yeah.
better to let those people starve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darwin and all.
Darwin,
But
yeah.
I mean, just take a look at Walmart on Black Friday when they have their sales and
Yeah.
how people fight over a TV. Can you imagine when they're fighting over food?
Right.
It's just going to be, being in the city in those situations and not going to be the place to be.
No,
So, there is a
If you're
lot,
not ahead, if
there's
you're
a lot
not
to
prepared ahead
consider.
of time,
Oh, yeah.
you're
Yeah.
pretty much up the creek.
Pretty much.
Do you think even what about those little frozen burritos you can get at 7-Eleven? You think even those be gone?
What about them?
You think that they'll run out of those?
They'll run out of everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
all
even
right.
the frozen
Yeah.
burritos.
This is worse than I thought then.
Yeah, it's a lot worse.
Probably even the frozen burritos.
I'm
yeah.
willing to bet you could sell one of those frozen burritos for a lot of money
And
in
again,
Venezuela right now.
depending on the
Yes.
circumstances,
We
7-Eleven might
could
not
ship
even be
a whole
open.
bunch of
That's a good idea.
burritos down to Venezuela.
Yes.
Buy them at 7-Eleven cheap because nobody buys them anyway.
Right. Exactly.
Sorry,
We're always thinking of great business ideas.
we're geniuses.
That was pretty good. I don't know why we didn't think of that, right?
I know. you didn't even think of selling the bug out bags, Scary. I had to give you that idea.
Oh.
Well, there's a lot of personal items that go into a bug out bag. So
That's true. Everyone's
creating
different, yeah.
it's not one bag for everybody.
No,
So,
not one bag fits all.
No,
No,
no.
you get
Why is that? You would think, like you said, the socks. I guess the socks are all different
Well,
sizes.
you gotta
'cause I
look
get
at-
tiny girly feet.
Personal choice.
It's personal choice. I mean, what if you're a diabetic? What if you have children? What if you don't?
Right.
What if you have a disabled person and you're carrying for two? How do you keep that weight down? I mean, it's really an individual choice on
I
what you
thought
want
you
to carry.
just leave them behind.
How much you want to carry? I mean,
That seems easier.
Yeah, a lot easier.
Yeah.
I guess it could be considered easier. But
I
and
shouldn't
weight.
say that. I'll probably be the one left behind.
Right.
Oh, and
That's why you'll always be on cable, Gary.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
and the
The
weight
radio.
of it, you know.
I don't know.
It gets worse.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, we're only halfway through. Oh,
I know, right?
But that gas thing is
Very telling, isn't it?
yes.
Yeah.
People don't think, and I guarantee you they're probably voting for Hillary.
Well, it is Exeter, so odds are correct.
Yeah, it's up there. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we have lost the skills that we used to have. We can't live off. Most people can't live off the land. Most people can't walk into the woods and tell you what's edible, what's not. How to get water where there is none.
Right.
How to filter it, you know.
How to filter
it too,
How to
because
sterilize it.
if it actually came to a situation where people are surviving, there's going to be people up and down that stream doing things that they probably shouldn't in the stream.
Well, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you got to have a water filter of some
You
sort. I
have to
mean,
think about that. Even the wildlife does that too.
Well, they do?
Yes, of course they do.
I heard that was a rumor. I didn't know that was actually.
No, bears actually do. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Go in the woods.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of rude.
I thought that was just like a cliche.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's all stuff you got to think about, and
Somebody told me, I forget where I was reading it, that actually one of the greatest commodities in a survival situation
Yeah.
are Bic lighters.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
it's, I would say not the most, but I mean,
yeah.
I'm a non-smoker. I have one on me at all times. I mean, it's
I
very,
got one on me now.
well, why not? I mean, you get
Right.
stuck, your hands get cold, you may not be able to make a fire, you may not know how to make a fire.
I
And,
got pepper spray on me now.
Yeah, me
Wanna
too.
try it?
No, we're good.
It's a very good item to have. Throw it in your pocket, it's light.
Well-
and, it may save you.
Well, I think also...
It's a lot easier to build a fire with a Bic lighter than rubbing rocks together or something like that. But,
Yeah. I imagine.
Still want a little convenience,
Right.
But
It'd
other
be nice
items.
it'd be nice to know how. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember in Boy Scouts rubbing sticks together and all that, and that was brutal.
Oh, of course.
And I don't think I ever actually succeeded in starting a fire.
Got to be diligent with that, and you
Yeah.
got to have the right type of wood.
You gotta have the right
dryness
type. Yeah,
and-
it has to. Yeah, and I don't think I ever succeeded in that. So, having a Bic lighter is just a lot. But it'd be good to know how to do it in the event that something were to happen. But having a Bic lighter is a lot simpler.
That's the people who want to learn this kind of stuff that's why we're putting this series together.
That is a great idea.
And,
Because the other thing too is I think a lot of people are under the misconception that they got a 30-30 in their closet, and it's, well, if worse comes to worse, I'll go hunting deer. The deer are going to get cleared out quick.
That's a good point.
You and
The deer
2 million other people, yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The
Point,
deer
yeah.
population is going to be zero inside of a few weeks.
Pretty much.
And you got to remember, there's going to be people protecting their hunting land too. So
Right.
you may be walking. You may think you're going to walk in the woods, but
No.
you walk in the woods behind in somebody else's
And
area.
actually, you're right. There's a lot of people who think exactly that they're going to get lost in the woods. And I says, and 2 million other people who think we're going to do the same thing. So
Yeah.
good luck with that.
Right.
You got to have a plan. You got to have a plan to that plan.
Yeah.
So
Oh, who do we have on with Jen? She was talking about actually the most efficient meat supply is guinea pigs. Is that true? Because they reproduce quickly.
I would go with rabbit.
I would go with rabbit too because they multiply very quickly and there's
they're
a
cuter,
heck of a
though.
lot more meat than
they're cuter,
than,
so it's harder to kill
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, well, when you're hungry,
You're hungry. Yeah.
Well, you could get a guinea pig and find out, and then you could be like,
Yeah.
the guinea pig will be your guinea pig to figure that out.
There's not really a lot of meat on guinea pig,
Oh.
I don't know. I haven't eaten
a lot
them
more
in
lot
weeks.
more meat on rabbit,
Ah.
but there's a lot of people who are raising chickens now and everything, all because of that reason.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Like John Burt is illegal chickens.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
he's
some
got
inside,
illegal
some inside
chickens.
information, John Bird. Did you
Yeah.
hear that?
Yep, he does.
Nice.
He gets he grows them. I guess I don't know, something zoning crap.
Yeah.
You know how that goes nowadays.
But going back to what you were talking about is Bic lighters and stuff like that. Anything that alcohol, cigarettes, ammo, anything that you can trade and stuff like that, having good quantities of is a good idea.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, because you will always. For instance, if the dollar collapses, okay, right, we're going to have a new currency that's going to be ammo.
Yeah. It becomes all about bartering.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
And people are going to protect their stuff. So
And
you may
people-
think you're going to come in my yard and take my chickens and my ducks and my
Right.
garden, but it ain't going to be.
people will always
Yeah.
barter for alcohol, cigarettes,
Oh, yeah.
that kind of stuff. Always.
Yeah.
So.
What about do you teach? And maybe it's in the later courses, but to me, if you were actually hunting for food, the most efficient way is trapping,
Yep.
not actually going around shooting stuff.
Right.
Yep.
Because
True.
shooting stuff attracts attention,
Yep.
And you're wasting ammo. I mean,
and you're
trapping.
wasting ammo.
Yeah,
Oh,
especially,
yeah.
You going to
especially in
teach that too,
situations like
or
that.
is that a different?
Well, I mean, can always trap. I mean, I'm a licensed trapper. I mean, I try to have license in everything, so I know how to do a little bit of
Right,
everything
right,
and be
right.
well rounded. I mean, I don't know if we'll teach it, but there's plenty. I mean, you could take classes locally with the Fish and Game, and not even take the test to get your license. You could just take the class like $5. You can learn everything about trapping too.
Right.
Right.
Because trapping is like you say, you don't use ammo. You're not a track because you take a shoot a 30-06 out the back of your house. People hear that for miles.
Oh yeah.
And in a survival situation,
Yeah.
it's almost like the polar bear up north. When they hear a shot, they go,
Yeah.
something's dead.
Yeah.
So you're attracting.
That's where bow and arrow comes in handy also.
Yep. Yep.
But trapping is because you don't have to be there. You set the trap and come back the next day and see if you got anything. So
Yeah.
it's a great way to,
You still have to have a
So-
little bit of training. I mean,
well,
Yeah.
creating these snares and stuff like that is,
Yeah.
how to set them up. If you have any lure, just to be as successful as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So-
quite an art in and of itself. You
Oh, yeah.
know.
and at that point, you won't have to worry about trapping laws and stuff like that.
No.
It's going to be,
Right. Yeah.
so there's a good set of lists that you're going to need, I mean, think of your entire day, all the stuff that you use, all the stuff that you do in a day. Okay, of course, the cell phones aren't going to be working and stuff like that. I mean, right down to toothpaste and toilet paper. People don't think about these things. Okay,
Right.
what are you going to do? What are you going to do for sanitation? Because when you flush that toilet in your house, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, you've got to think about all this stuff.
Water.
So
You got to flush it. Potable, non-potable. Gallon of water a day per person.
So,
It's a
That's
lot of water.
yeah.
If
I
you
got a
don't,
stream coming through my house, going by my house, but I don't know how available that's going to be in a survival
you got to be
situation.
able to filter it. You got to be able to
Yep.
either pump it out with no power or walk down with a couple buckets and fill your filter.
Do you know if anybody sells like a way to run your pump, like to bypass your regular system in an emergency, so you can still run the pump for your water?
Like electrically or manually?
Either.
Yeah, they've got solar style pumps. They've got, you can pull your whole pump out. You can put a hand pump in. You can do like a ramp pump type thing. Like there's all kinds of options.
Even the old.
Yep,
Yeah,
I have one of those. They're like $60.
Yep.
You just need to know how deep your well is and pull your
They
pump
still-
out, drop it in, and hand pump it out.
They still
Wow.
work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will that work
So-
even if because I think my well's pretty darn deep. I remember him pulling that thing out to.
Yeah.
We get hit by lightning periodically, and it wipes out the pump.
You
they
have
have
to
to
check
pull-
the specifications. It usually tells you how deep of
Yeah,
a well
mine goes
is
down
good
about
for it.
210 feet.
Sounds like a lot of feet.
So I could drop it down, and once it's pressurized, it'll pump.
No kidding, because that's a really cool idea. Because I was trying to get. I think it seems like it's almost rigged, but I've had a few different solar companies come to my house because I didn't care about running lights, but I do know, having lost power enough to know what it's like not to have to go down the stream and fill 5-gallon pails of water and come back and
Yeah.
and flush the toilet, and that's gets tiresome quickly. So I asked about getting enough solar panels so I could at least run the pumps in a couple.
Oh, you have a generator?
No,
You don't?
no, I'm not really. I was hoping solar power seemed like a logical thing to do, even if it only ran during the day to run the pump. It would be perfect.
Yeah, you can do that. That's not a problem.
They said they couldn't do it without. I don't know how many thousands of dollars worth of batteries.
Well, think about these pumps, how much electricity they take.
Do they take
okay.
a lot? I don't even know.
And well, depending on what kind of, if you're really down, if you're down 210 feet, yeah, it's going to work.
Right.
All right. So you've got to have enough battery to run that during the day, and then have enough sunlight to recharge those batteries. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty good system. You're better off probably a generator
Right.
that turns on automatically.
But then a generator, you need fuel, and fuel is going to be one of those commodities that is not available
Right.
Right.
because the trucks aren't going to be coming up here to fill up
Nope.
gas
And
stations. that don't
Gasoline
work.
does go bad.
And
It
they're
does.
also probably giving you a larger system than you need that they're trying to sell. I mean, you just have to research what your pump is, how much, what you need for power, and
You always go overkill on those things.
they're probably going over. I mean,
I didn't know that, by the way. Gasoline goes bad.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
It's almost like they designed it that way. It seems like a lot of
does.
stuff goes bad that didn't used to.
you're better off going with a propane generator.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what happened? Like it goes bad.
The
So
ethanol. The ethanol and gas actually absorbs moisture.
okay. That's
It
interesting.
turns into like a lacquer.
Really?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I didn't know that. Huh.
Yeah, and they're usually if you you can put some what they call it stabilizer in it that'll prolong
Okay.
the life, but usually you can only count on gasoline sitting still for a year at the most.
Oh, okay.
So,
Even with stabilizer in it.
yeah.
Yeah, I know I screwed up my lawnmower that way.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
Last year's gas, I forgot
Yeah.
about it and just toasted the...
Oh.
Didn't toast it, it just is... The whole carburetor is full of water. And,
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of people do that with their lawnmowers, generators, because they'll only start their generator when they need it.
Right. Right.
So,
yeah.
it does go
But yeah, a
bad.
propane generator wouldn't be a bad idea. I checked into one of those. They're like $6,000 or something.
Yeah, propane generator
For an automatic one?
uses a lot of uses a lot of propane too.
It does?
Yes.
So it'll use up my heating, just because I use that
Pretty
for heat
quickly.
really quickly.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's good to know. So I guess that isn't a great option. Now, what else besides the new course you're offering about bug out bags and stuff like that? What else do you guys do?
Well, we do firearms training. We do situational awareness. We do classes in pepper spray, that kind of stuff. Jim is going to be starting up some hand-to-hand classes because a lot of people think that I put a gun on and I'm protected, and that is so far from the truth. Half the time you don't have time to react. You don't have time to get to your gun to protect yourself, and you need to figure out how to protect yourself in other ways. So we're going to be offering the whole gamut of personal protection, basically.
I'll tell you one of the cool things that was not cool, but what was that? Was that little Obama's son down in Florida that got shot?
Oh, Trayvon.
Trayvon Martin.
Yeah.
One of the things I learned from that
Yeah.
was I always carry. I shouldn't say that. If I carry,
Yeah. Small in the back.
if I carry, I would always have the chamber clear,
Yeah.
so it couldn't inadvertently go off. Then I watched what happened with the Trayvon Martin thing, and I realized in a situation where you're jumped from behind, you can't sit there and start playing with your gun.
Oh no, we highly suggest that you don't carry with an empty chamber.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't think of
Because
that until that.
There's too many things. One, you probably won't have time to rack the slide. You might need this hand for something else to protect a loved one or something on that idea. So there's a lot of reasons, right? When you pull that firearm, you're pulling it because you need to protect your life. You don't have time to do that. Okay, that means I'm pulling it. I need to protect my life now. Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you carry a gun with an empty chamber, you're basically carrying a hammer. Just throw it at them.
And if you have your proper holster, your gun's not going to go off anyway. I mean, that's why training
But-
is important, and going to see
Right.
people and understanding that a lot of people will buy a $650 handgun and a $29.99 holster,
Right.
and then, oh, this is sagging, I'm scared. Instead of,
Right,
it's the
right.
same
And-
thing of buying a $1,000 AK and not
You're
being
not
too cheap to spend $150 on a class.
Yeah.
You're not alone, because a lot of people do that because they don't trust themselves enough to carry with the full chamber. Okay.
Well, I
And that's
don't
what-
trust myself because I'm mentally unstable.
Which is
You just said that on the air.
Again, see, that's how
We have the
unstable
SWAT team
I
at your house tonight. Jeez. Wow. Okay.
They gotta find his house. He lives out in the woods. That's why he's got,
It's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Pretty tough. I can't even find it most nights.
Right. Yeah. See.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry.
Too funny. So. Yes.
He thinks you were kidding about all that.
Oh yeah, probably.
Oh, you what?
No.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, sorry, I screwed up your train of thought. Go for
It's
it.
all right. No, I'm just saying that's why people do carry with an empty chamber, because they don't trust themselves enough. Okay, remember that your best safety is between your ears. Okay, and all how you handle that firearm.
Right.
Okay, there's basically there's 3 essential rules. Okay, if you follow those rules all the time, you'll never have a problem with your firearm. Simple as that. Okay.
What are they? What are the rules?
Well, one is to always keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire. Okay. And
Remember I said that?
I do. I do
I
remember
said
that.
that.
Yes.
always point the gun in a safe direction.
Did I say that?
You did say
I
that.
said that.
Yes.
Okay, and keep the gun unloaded when it's not in use. Okay, so if you do those 3 things.
Well, I didn't
okay,
say that to him because it wasn't his gun, so.
Okay, so, and even those require explanation, because safe direction is what? It's situational, isn't it? It all
Right.
depends on where you are.
Yeah.
It goes without saying what, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot stands for. But, and, keep the gun unloaded until you're ready to use it. Okay, well, hunters don't go out with an empty gun. They, hunting is a use. Home defense is a use. Personal protection is a use. All right, so those are perfectly acceptable to carry a gun that's, fully loaded. But if you've got 100 guns in the house and you're only using one for personal protection, keep the rest of them unloaded.
Right.
I went over to this guy's house, and it was like, he's showing me different guns, and it's like, all of them are loaded.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind
it's
of weird.
It's not good.
Okay. Yeah, probably not.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Especially if he's got, kids, grandkids, or that come over.
Yeah,
It's
no,
probably
he had
not good.
all kinds of weapons all over the place, and they're all loaded everywhere. It's really kind of ridiculous.
Wow.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's an accident waiting to happen.
Pretty much.
So yeah, we're doing we're doing a lot of different classes. We just had a meeting with the planning department today to take over the old Manchester Police Department, because they have a 25-yard range down there.
Oh, they do?
Yes. So
That's
we're
wicked cool.
we're trying to move in there and take over the range so that we can do our classes right there and just walk them over to the range. That's
Now, is that going to work with the Manchester Police to?
no.
Or is this
Manchester
second?
Police got nothing to do with it.
So they still have a range in their new place then?
I assume they do. Yeah.
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 Oh, that's pretty cool.
They
Good reason to
really
become a cop.
haven't been they really haven't been too forthcoming with us about even the old range. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So do you when you offer training, firearms training, do you is that NRA approved type things where you can use that to get
Yeah.
pistol permits everywhere and
Yes, we do NRA training. We do Second Amendment Foundation training. So
What's the
we
difference?
carry different lines.
Oh, we have
All
a
the different classes.
we have a call. Grab this. Hi, welcome to Rock Paper Hand Grenades. Who's on the line?
Mrs. Boilard?
This is Boilard. How are you, ma'am?
Oh my God.
Yes. Well, we figured that. How are you? Hey, please turn your
Good, how are you?
Good. Can you turn your television down though, please? We're on a little bit of a delay, so we're getting an echo.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay. We have to have a delay in case Gary gets a little salty.
Again.
Again.
Salty.
Yes.
you wouldn't believe what I said a couple weeks ago.
Oh, I think I would. So what do you want me? You want me to bring milk home or what?
I just want to tell my husband he's doing a really good job, and then I have the whole family watching.
All right, cool.
Very nice. Are you still trying to get him to run for governor?
He won't.
You won't?
No.
No, we're going to go for Frank.
We're getting both. Okay.
Frank Edelblue?
Yeah. Yeah, Frank's a good guy.
Anyway, you look good, honey.
Oh, thank you, honey.
Well, my wife never says that to me when I'm on.
Oh well.
I'll let you guys get back to your talking, but
All right,
I
thanks.
just wanted to say howdy.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Is your wife calling in?
I doubt it.
She's got to do it soon if she is.
Yeah. So you have NRA training now. What around the country? There's different. Do you? Wow, bunch of questions in my head all at the same time.
Yep.
It's
All right,
like
let me try to answer them.
good.
NRA right now is changing all of their entire classes. Okay, their flagship class, Basic Pistol, has gone online. Okay, so you have to take a 6-7 hour class online and then meet up with an instructor.
Okay.
Well, we don't agree with that. We basically dropped NRA Basic Pistol altogether. Okay.
Okay.
Our Basic Pistol class that we're using now is a Second Amendment Foundation Training Division class. Okay. And basically it covers all the same stuff just in a better format.
Right.
Okay? NRA is very slow to make changes to their curriculum because they're nationwide and they have thousands and thousands of books. Okay. But in doing what they did, because there are a lot of people who have built their businesses around Basic Pistol. Okay. And they said when they announced they were going online, it really pissed off a lot of NRA instructors. Okay, so there's a lot of them who are not doing Basic Pistol anymore. Okay, we carry the full line. We carry NRA, all of their classes basically. We carry SAF. I'm a founding member of the Second Amendment Foundation Training Division, and which was actually created about the same time that they decided that they were going online. So just a coincidence.
Yeah.
And
now, before we run out of time, how do they get in touch with you if somebody wants to?
I
put the link on the Facebook, but that's not the same as being on TV.
They can go to defensivestrategies.org and look at all the classes that we offer. We offer over 60 different classes right now, and we're actually going to be offering a lot more. We just brought on a couple more instructors, law enforcement instructor. So we'll be doing, state quals for security guards, private investigators, and all that stuff also. So we've got a lot planned, especially when we get down to the old Manchester Police Department, where
that'll be pretty cool.
We're going to start seniors classes during the days because we've had a lot of requests for them. Actually.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, seniors.
I would
is scared
hope
too.
so. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Now, do you have? I had a. Oh shoot, we're gonna run out of time. Well, I have a friend who's he's older, and he can't really rack the slide on a gun. I asked him about using a revolver. He says he didn't want to, and then I thought of the tip-up barrel. The Berettas make a .32 tip-up barrel, but he won't do that because I guess that's illegal in Massachusetts. And
tell him to come see us. We got some solutions for him.
Okay, because it's just getting like a.
We actually do get that question a lot with arthritis and people just don't have the upper body strength. Believe me, we have people in our classes that are 27 years old and don't have the upper body strength to rack a slide. Okay?
Well, it's a semi-auto in that case. You can actually the gun won't cycle. If your wrist isn't strong enough to cycle it yourself, it's also probably not strong enough to allow that machine to actually reliably cycle also.
That's true.
Yeah. So
I saw that once. It was sad. Hey, before we're almost out of time.
So this Coalition of New Hampshire Taxpayers is having their annual picnic July 9th. And that's Saturday at the Sweeney Post No. 2 American Legion.
It's just outside of Hillsborough.
Okay. 251 Maple Street in Manchester.
It's Oh no, I'm wrong. Yeah,
across
it's Manchester
from Gill Stadium. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
they used to have it. They used to have it in Hillsborough all the time.
Well, they're moving on up.
Anyway, if you guys if you're politically active, you got to go to that. That's a great bunch of guys. Go to the. And then we have Ross Terrio's
karaoke event.
For Ross Terrio for Senate. Is on the 14th. Karaoke.
I had it, and the
7 o'clock
closed on my phone.
7 o'clock.
Installing for time. Oh, wait, okay.
Thursday, 14th.
Yes, Thursday the 14th at 215 Maple Street.
Maple Street? I thought that was Valley Street. I thought it was the bowling alley on Valley Street.
I don't know. This website that I found it on, it's not even telling me the name of the place. It just says
that's good. That makes it easier.
216 Maple Street.
What time?
Oh, 7 p.m.?
7 p.m. That's for Ross Terrio. He's a good guy.
Yes, he is.
He's a good guy.
Good man, that Ross Terrio.
Jim,
Just look it up
Bob.
online.
Yeah, that's
What?
easier.
Just look it up online.
Just look at Jim and Bob. Thank you guys very much.
No problem. Glad to be
We
here.
get a little silly, but I can't help it. Really,
I know.
it's not like I have
Mentally
a
unstable.
choice.
Right, exactly.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right, no problem.
Bye, everybody.
Did you have fun?